Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the another session. I know it's been long due. I think we disappeared in between, but again, we are back with another session. And today we're going to talk about a very, very interesting course, which a lot of students have been asking me in the past as well. And yes, we'll be talking about data sciences and data sciences in the UK. So I did get a lot of questions on if UK is the right country to choose to study currently. Just to put my point across, the West entirely is going through a tough time right now. But again, most economies are expected to recover by later 2023. The second half of 2023. So if you start to plan right now, if you're planning right now, I believe once you graduate, by the time you graduate, most economies will be back on track, and data sciences and especially the tech sector in the UK is growing like anything, even in the recession times. Be it data sciences, be it business analytics, be it cybersecurity, networking, IT, all these industries are on the rise. And today we have a very important announcement to make as well if you're planning to study abroad, and especially in the UK. So let's begin. If you can hear me loud and clear, let me know in the comments box below, and let me know where are you guys from. And yes, so we start in next 2 minutes. Let's wait for few messages to come through. Uh, cool. So we already have some people joining in. Let's wait for more people to join, and I'll also be answering a lot of questions today. So guys, also start posting your questions if you have any questions. I'll be answering a lot of questions, be it for the UK or any other country you wish to study. Try and keep more questions specific to data sciences. But again, I'm happy to answer any other question as well if you have. So let's begin with today's presentation. Cool. So we have someone joining us from Mexico. Hi. I don't know how to say your name. Cuera Martinez. Welcome to LeapScholar. I hope you enjoy today's session. And do post your questions in the comments box, and I'll be happy to answer them. Great. So let's start with today's presentation. And yes, why you should study data sciences. So data sciences, I don't have to kind of elaborate a lot more on why you should study data sciences. But again, here are a few facts and figures you should know, ideally, if you're looking to study and build a career in this field. So according to Statista, that in 2021, there were around 79 zettabytes of data created, consumed, collected, and duplicated globally. So that's a huge number. If we talk about daily usage, it would be 1.145 trillion megabytes of data is produced daily. So it means, how important is it to manage data, to collect data, to interpret data, because I think currently the world economy, the businesses, the orgs are, focusing extensively on data collection, and that's how they kind of I think most of the business functions, be it marketing, be it HR, be it operations, most of the business functions are using data collected from the users to create, strategies, to formulate strategies, to create relevant, to tap the relevant audience, and as well as, maybe tap technology as well. And I believe most of you guys will know that currently, if we talk about any industry, be it automobile, be it hospitality, be it manufacturing and processing, they currently are reliant so much on data, which gives them a heads up on what kind of strategies they should adopt in the future. So this gives you a proper sense that how important is data in today's time. If we talk about jobs, approximately 11.5 million jobs are going to be generated by 2026. So that's a huge number. And just to give you an idea, there is a skill gap. If you look at any country, be it Canada, be it UK, be it US, be it Australia, a lot of countries have cited a lot of skill shortages in, especially the data sciences field. So yes, definitely a good choice to go for if you're looking to build a career in this field. If I talk about data from LinkedIn, so every second, 2 data sciences professionals are joining LinkedIn, which means that data sciences as a field is getting so much popular, and more people are trying to get jobs, and more people are trying to get into professional networking sites. So plenty jobs listed on LinkedIn as well. If you go there, you can check. Next up, in terms of pay scale, so this is for the US, but if I talk about the UK, on an average, you can expect to earn around £50,000 per annum, which you also saw in the title slide. So around £50,000 per annum is the average, uh, you know, um, salaries you can expect to earn after you graduate, given you have some sort of work experience. Uh, However, if I talk about the global average, data scientists can get up to $85,000 of salaries in this industry. Next up, if you have 1 to 4 years of experience, you can expect to fetch around $96,000. And if you have more experience than that, you can roughly fetch around $110,000, and it continues to grow after you gain experience in the industry. Cool. Moving on to the next slide. So how do you actually start your journey? So guys, we have a very interesting guide for you. It's called a complete guide to data sciences in the UK. So if you are in the process, if you're looking to study in the UK for September 2023, first of all, I would like to mention why the UK. UK because there are plenty programs in the UK if you want to study data sciences, and if you don't have a relevant background, you can still go to a lot of universities. A lot of universities do offer, uh, you know, uh, options for people without relevant backgrounds. So if you're looking to change your field of study, then UK makes a lot of sense. Canada, why not? Because Canada is very particular about your background, overall background. So it may lead to visa rejection if you come from a non-relevant background, but with the UK, that's not the case. So that is one reason. Second, if you talk about UK, then you have a 1 year degree, which saves you a lot of time and your money as well, because your cost to pursue a degree almost cuts into half. So if you compare it to US or UK or Canada or Australia, where most degrees are for 2 years, in UK you can pursue a master's degree in just 1 year, and that also applies to top ranking universities. Number three, you can also get IELTS waivers. So not just CBSE or ICSE students. These days, a lot of UK universities are also giving IELTS waivers to a number of state boards. So if you're from Kerala State Board, if you're from Maharashtra State Board, if you are from Andhra Pradesh State Board, Telangana State Board, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh as well, plenty options available, and including top universities, provided you have around 70% in your 12th grade English. It also applies to postgraduate students, but most universities would want you to have graduated at least, you know, within 5 years of your intended start date. So that is another reason. Next is your 2 years post-study work visa, which UK announced after the Brexit. So you can stay in the UK after you graduate. You can look for jobs. You can get into a job. Also, getting a PR in the UK is also easier now as compared to the past. You can, once you get a job, you can also get into a skilled worker visa, which is for 5 years. And once you have worked on that visa for 5 years, you can apply for ILR, which is the indefinite leave to remain. Next up, one of the major reasons why you should choose UK is if you're very particular about a quality education. And it goes without saying, I always place US and UK at the top of the heap. Most UK and US universities occupy top spots in rankings, especially if you look at subject rankings. If you look at global rankings as well. Most UK universities they occupy the top position in these rankings as well. Cool. So now I have given you enough reasons why you should choose UK. Then let's talk about the guide today, which is your data sciences guide. So this guide is very carefully curated. So it's me. There's one UK job expert, and there will be one international student just like you who are in the UK currently, and they're working. And in this guide, we'll give you a lot of information. It is like a pre-recorded guide where you get a lot of information on the current and future trends. So how is the data sciences industry in the UK? What is going on currently? What are the future projections and how the industry is going to grow? Next up, we'll be also talking about available roles and locations. So after you graduate with a data sciences degree, what kind of roles you can target depending on your experience, what kind of locations. Do you get more jobs in London or Birmingham or Edinburgh or Glasgow? So everything we've tried to cover here, where all you can work. Then we also talk about companies and salaries. And I think this is one of the major pain points for most people, that which companies actually offer visa sponsorships. So we have tried to cover that as well in this guide. You'll get to know which companies actually hire international workers and the companies you can target after you graduate and what kind of salaries do they pay you. Also, we have a discussion around your cover letters and your CVs. And I believe when you move to the UK, every country has a different, I would say, CV format, cover letter format. And we've tried to cover that as well. So you don't have to kind of, look on the internet, get a relevant CV format or something. In this guide, you'll find everything: how to write your cover letter, how to draft your CV. And we have also thrown in some free resources which you can use to draft your cover letters and CVs. Next up, we talk about your coursework. So what all will you study? What kind of universities are there? What kind of programs are available? What is the duration? And it covers both bachelor's and master's students. So don't worry, even if you're from a bachelor undergrad, if you're going for an undergrad degree, there will be enough for you to learn as well from this guide. Next up, we also talk about intakes and programs, what kind of intakes you can target. UK primarily has January and September intake. So in this guide, you can find what all universities will accept you for January and what all accept for September as well. So this is next thing. Next is your prerequisite. So if you're going to study for a bachelor's or a master's program, what kind of background you should ideally have. We've tried to cover that as well. And at the last, we also talk about your fee. So what is the average tuition fee you will pay and what are your living costs? Apart from that, I've tried to cover a lot of information on visas as well. So how to apply for a UK student visa, your health insurance, what is the visa process like, what kind of documents do you require. So in a nutshell, this guide has everything you need, starting from the industry itself, wherein we discuss everything about the data sciences industry. Then with the international student, they'll share his or her experience in the field, and they'll give you some tips and tricks how to land a good job. And next up, we talk everything about how to apply and how to what kind of fee you can expect to pay and what kind of living costs you can expect to incur. Cool. And for that, and just to give you an idea, it's like it will cost you less than a cup of coffee these days. So there is a link which is floating in your chat box. You can go and sign up now. It's right there in your chat box, and you can also ask me any relevant questions if you have. Cool. So once you enroll for this course, you have to click on My Courses, which will appear in the right-hand side top corner. And when you click on that, it will take you to the course where you can start it. So this course has a lifetime access. So once you buy it, it will be there for you for the rest of your life. So you can access this course anytime. So total value for money, I would say. And cool. So guys, please start asking your questions, and I'll take up a few questions now. Cool. First question I have is from Shubham, Queen Mary University for business analysts. Shubham, Queen Mary, QMUL is a part of University of London, and it's a Russell Group University, so I highly recommend. And obviously, if I talk about business analyst, because business analytics, I also did one guide on business analytics as well. It's there on our YouTube channel. If you want to go check it out as well. But again, QMUL, I'll highly rate it for business analytics, and it's a very good uni. The added advantage, QMUL has their campus in East London, which is very close to all the big companies, financial firms, and consulting firms. So definitely a good choice there. Farooq Ahmed, I don't know about data science, and I'm 22 years old. Uh, cool, 22 years old. Okay, so Farooq, I would need to know more about your background. What kind of degree do you have? Have you studied for a bachelor's already, or are you planning for your master's? If you can give me some context in terms of your profile, I can answer your question better. Uh, Next up, we have question from Sumit. Job opportunities after engineering management. Strathclyde as a fresher. Right. Strathclyde is a good uni, Sumit. That's for sure. Engineering management, I would say, if I talk about non-IT courses, engineering people are also pretty much in demand, and I would say UK is no exception. Definitely a good choice. Engineering management, project management have picked up a lot in the recent years, and I believe it's a very good course to go for. And Strathclyde is a very good options. Can you tell me like what all other options are you aiming at? So cool. Next, I have a question from Saad. Data sciences versus data analytics versus computer sciences. See, data analytics or business analytics, I would say they're like pretty much similar as courses. So data sciences, Saad is more of a coding program. As in like there is a lot of coding involved. However, with business analytics, the amount of coding, I would say the amount of computation and math kind of goes down a bit. Computer sciences is more of a general course where you study most modules. Like maybe you'll study data sciences as well. Maybe you'll study business analytics. Maybe you'll study machine learning, networking, cybersecurity, all of that. So it will entirely come down to what you want to you know how do you want your career to shape up. If you are very comfortable with say coding, I would say go for data sciences. It's a very good course. If you want to get into an intersection of a techno management course where you also kind of let's say want to be at the technical side of things and at the same time drive business decisions, then I would say business analytics. And computer sciences, again, it's a very tech course, so it ultimately comes down to you. How do you see your career shape up? I hope that answers your question. Next up, we have Farooq Ahmed. Okay, so Farooq, I learn about just give me a second. Right. Can I learn about data sciences? Yes, you can. Okay, so you're preparing for NEET exam. Farooq, I'm not really sure if you're preparing for NEET exam. I believe you don't have math in your 12th standard. If that is the case, data sciences as a program, especially if you want to pursue a bachelor's, most universities would ask for at least math in your 12th grade. So if you have math in your 12th grade, I don't see any problem with that. Cool. Next, we have a question from Arpita. My son already applied through LeapScholar for Masters in Data Science. Cool. Okay, already applied. Great, Arpita. I hope he gets into his dream university. And thank you so much for dropping in your comment. Cool. So, guys, if you have more questions, just let me know because today's session is just half an hour. So we still have a few minutes, and I can answer more questions. And until then, if you want to sign up, there is a link which is floating in your chat box to a complete guide to data sciences in the UK. And just to kind of repeat it again, what we're trying to do in this guide is basically tell you all about data sciences industry in the UK and what all trends you can see in terms of employment, how to get jobs, which companies you can target, everything included. So very affordable, less than a cup of a coffee, like I said. So go for it, and the link is in the chat box. Uh, right, Saad is asking, do you advise a student in health field to pursue MS in data science? Total cost for MS in data science. Okay, so Saad, from health field, I would say there is a new course which has come up. Again, it's called, some universities may call it health informatics. Some universities also call it health data sciences. So if you're from healthcare field, I think that course will also suit you. But again, do check what all the what all course constituents are there. So basically, it's also like an intersection of medical and IT fields. So I would recommend, if you're from a health field, you can do that. Apart from that, I think I'm pretty much okay if, like, like I said, UK is pretty much okay in that way, is that if you're from a different field altogether, you want to pursue something in data sciences, that's completely fine. There are options that will let you in with data, without a relevant background, provided you have some sort of, maybe some online certifications or some sort of quant element in your undergrad or something like that. As long as you can prove that you come with some sort of research and some sort of training, I believe a lot of universities will be happy to accept you. Kiku tag, can I still apply for masters in data science even if I don't have a math paper? Plenty options are there. Even if you don't have math, but again, like I would like to say that again, that if you don't have a relevant background, if you don't have, let's say, math in your UG, again, you should actually prepare yourself to, with some sort of training. Like, I said, you can pursue some online courses. There are plenty of startups in India currently who are offering online programs in data sciences. Pursue that, pick up some projects, make your profile relevant, and I believe a lot of universities will be happy to accept you. I hope that answers the question. There are options, so don't worry. Cool. And yeah, one last thing I would like to add here is, if you are coming from a non-relevant background, it is very important that you brush up your basics, because it's very important, because don't expect the university to take you further from the scratch. So they will expect you to come with some sort of working knowledge of the field. So some languages you need to have, you need to understand the computer, the programming languages. So I think plenty options available online, guys. You can do online certifications right at home and apply. Saad, MS in data science, UK versus Australia versus US. So if I talk about costs, Saad, so I think UK will be the cheapest here because it's a 1-year degree. Australia, I would rate, on the expensive side, because Australia, the mandate is, if you want to stay back, if you want to work in Australia after you graduate, you need to study for at least a 2-year degree. So Australia turns out to be a bit more, not a bit, I think more expensive than UK. US, you have two types of options. Then, there are some state universities, and then there are some, private universities. So state universities will be cheaper, private universities can be expensive. So US is more comprehensive in terms of the options you get. So entirely comes down to you. But in fact, say that the cheapest would be UK here, then US, because US, like I said, you get both options. And then Australia is generally expensive. Cool. Next up, Sumit is asking, how's Oxford Brookes when it comes to engineering? I have an admit for automobile engineering. Sumit, you also have an admit for Strathclyde, if I'm not wrong. So if you ask me to compare both, Oxford Brookes is a modern university, and in fact, if you look at the rankings, I believe it's one of the highest ranked modern universities in the UK. So it's a very good uni. But again, if you already have, if I compare Strathclyde and Oxford Brookes, then I would incline more towards Strathclyde. So entirely comes down to you. I believe Strathclyde is a better uni than Oxford Brookes. Cool. Guys, any more questions? Let me know in the chat box. And, like, I'm waiting for your questions now. Again, just to remind you again, if you want to pursue a program in data sciences in the UK, this guide is going to come in very handy, right? We have tried to, collect all the knowledge of the field, be it from an expert side, wherein someone who's already working in the UK for the last 10 to 12 years in the same field. You get all the expertise from there. You get all the expertise you need from an international student who's already pursued the same course and have landed a job in the UK. Plus, you also get all the information you need in terms of which universities to target, what's the visa process like, what's the tuition fee, what's living cost, everything included. Plus, you also get free resources. You can draft your own cover letter, you can draft your CV. So before you actually land in the UK, you have all the information available to you on your fingertips. Cool. I believe I don't have any more questions in the chat box. Thank you so much. We'll be back with another session soon. And for those, uh, cool. I've got a question from Saad. What are the effects of recession in the UK on international students? So, Saad, like I said, yes, indeed, UK is in recession. So, if I talk about any country in the West generally, so every country is feeling that heat of recession. But again, like I said, if you're planning for September, which is the next available intake for you guys, it is expected that the UK will fall into recession for sure. It is already like getting into recession again. But by the time you graduate in September 2024, I believe the UK economy will be back on track. How can I say that? Because I was on the UK. I was in the UK when the last recession hit, which was in 2008, and even that time there were like predictions that the economy might not revive and all that. But again, it did. They are a very strong economy, but again, they're facing temporary crisis because of Brexit and the Ukraine war and the general inflation which is there in the world. So don't worry too much. I believe if you're going for September 2023 and by the time you graduate, I believe that there will be no problem as such. But again, it also comes down to you how proactive you are. I always tell my students that if you're going to study abroad, get your uh, you know uh, just be mentally prepared to be very proactive. You have to apply to jobs. You have to be very active in job hunt. Just make sure your CV is good. Just make sure you're networking well. So that makes a lot of sense. So don't worry. I would say there are effects, temporary effects, but again, by the time you graduate, I believe those effects will be not no more. Pretty much, I think they'll not be relevant by that time. Cool. Video on supply chain management in Australia. Mohammed, I'll try for sure. Uh, Supply chain in UK. It's a good supply chain and logistics. Rocky are pretty much in demand, not just UK but everywhere. So because of the COVID and the after effects of COVID, the supply chains have been disrupted and beat any industry if you talk about. So definitely a good choice. And if you do your masters next year, and like I said, by the time you graduate by 2024, the effect of recession will be like much more lesser by that time. Cool. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you again in the next session like this. Thank you so much. And before you leave, do not forget to sign up for this very very handy guide. Like I said, it's only uh, less than a cup of a coffee. So definitely will help you a lot. And if you have any questions, you can post your questions on our videos. I'll be happy to answer them. As you post them. Thank you so much, and good night, everyone.